Hello, Jeremy here again. My grand idea is to work with the Boone Hall Plantation in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, to develop a children or youth exhibit focusing on the children of slavery specifically. The grant proposal request will be developed and submitted to the Historical Preservation Fund, specifically the African American Civil Rights, or the AACR. And the reason for requesting from this organization is that the exhibit's primary end goal is to reduce discrimination, racism, inequality through education. The project itself, again, is at the Boone Hall Plantation, which is kind of in the Charleston, South Carolina region. And it would develop an exhibit that focuses on the children of slavery to target the youth or young adults and even the parents of the young children. The exhibit will be in conjunction with the current slave history presentation that is part of the Boone Hall Plantation. And the Boone Hall Plantation request would be for $150,000 for 3 years of funding. And the associated funding is to be used for associated resources, fees, and honorariums that might occur with guest speakers. The exhibit will focus specifically on the children of enslaved people, children born in bondage, the legacy of the slave children, roles and responsibility of children in the antebellum South, and the education they received or its limitations of what they received. And some possible actual limitations of the project or concerns with the project would be the availability of resources specifically related to children the children component of the exhibit. The targeted region, Charleston, being heavily slave. The question is the historical research and some of the accuracy of what the children specifically might represent. Some of the activities is working with other local museums and historical societies. The project will really utilize some historical actors, art, displays, historians to enhance the exhibit overall. The idea of using live role players, loaned artifacts from other museums in the region, and even inviting guest speakers. The hope would be to have interactives, hands-on activities such as working with some of the animals, the picking of crops, cleaning, and other activities. And it would just be more of an idea or activity that's designed around the idea of presenting the children with the roles that their peers, children of the enslaved children, would have done, to get a kind of perspective of that. The Boone Hall Plantation will use also local volunteers to establish the exhibit annually. And the results really are kind of intended to educate today's youth of the circumstances and conditions of children during the 1800 period of antebellum South. And the goal will be educating the participants of the slave life and conditions of the children, exposing them in a very controlled setting to the so-called horrors of slavery and some of the concerns and issues associated with it. And again, the results would hope to inform the youth and the parents with the intent of reducing discrimination and racial inequality. The implementation of the exhibit will be during the month of June, with emphasis on the Juneteenth holiday as a special celebration and remembrance during that day. The schedule itself is going to be provided in Annex A, which provides a schedule of activities, and the chart itself is going to be a month-to-month planning leading up to the June exhibit each year. So at the end of the day, the summary for this is really that the Boone Hall Plantation will create that interactive exhibit with focuses on the youth of today and their education of the children of slavery. Utilize the local resources. The exhibit will display forms of art, artifacts, other elements to educate the children, the youth, and the parents visiting. And the intended purpose of the exhibit is to reduce racism, inequality, and inequality, if you will, through education. And the requested grant funds will be used to secure this education platform. Thank you.